Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Tarquinio getting on here to introduce to you our vocabulary words for the week. So I'm going to do it a little bit differently this week. I'm going to use one of our Wonders resources that is on our Wonders website. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen here, and you should see our words. They may already look familiar to you if you've gone through and done your vocabulary match. That was assigned for Monday today. But if you didn't get to it yet, this will help you maybe understand them a little bit better. So we will go ahead through them. This first word is exclaimed. Say it. Exclaimed. So if you exclaimed, you spoke or shouted suddenly because you were excited or upset. What a surprise, James exclaimed. So he's really excited or surprised about something. So you can think about when you might exclaim. If it was your birthday, you might say, "Oh, just what I wanted." And that would be an exclamation. Okay. Now let's go ahead back. This next word, finally. Say it. Finally. If something finally happens, it happens after a long time. The mail is finally at Liam's house. So we can take a look at that illustration. The mail is finally at Liam's house. So Liam had been waiting for a letter from his grandmother or a letter from a pen pal, and he was probably excited because he's saying it is finally here. I bet you all have that feeling when it's finally summertime, something that you get excited about. You might say, "Oh, finally." You might even exclaim it. So let's go back down. Next word, form. Say it. Form. So when you form something, you make or shape it. Charlie and Dylan want to form a chess club. So look at them, and these two little boys are playing chess. So something that you're interested in, you might form a club. Something else that you might form, you could form something out of Play-Doh, okay? So that's another thing that you can form. You can shape into something. Next word, history. Say it. History. History is the story of what happened in the past. An example of it used in context, Ben learns about the history of his family. And we can look at it illustrated here. So it looks like he might be talking to his grandmother or a great aunt and learning about a family tree.
History. History is the story of what happened in the past.
And you can think about the history that we've learned in class. We've already learned about learned about America's history. We've learned about civil rights. We've gone back as far as the Native Americans and how our country finally came to be. We talked about the Revolution and George Washington as our first leader and our first president. So we've talked about a lot of history within our class. Okay, next word, public. Say it. Public. Good. If something is public, it is for all people to use or visit. The school playground is Gina's favorite public place, and we can see the illustration of it here. So you may enjoy some places that are public. You might go to a public park. You may go to a public library. Those are all things that you're free to use because a community has built it or a community has allowed it to be open. Maybe it's just a free, the woods are a public place. You're able to go out and anybody can use it. Next word, rules. Say it. Rules. I'm sure we all know what rules mean, but rules are directions that tell how to do something or what is allowed. We must follow the rules of our school. Hopefully now you're thinking, I know we had rules in the classroom. It was always to raise your hand when you had something to say, to not speak while others are speaking, to always be kind to one another, to respect others. So those are all rules of our classroom. And we can see that these boys and girls in this class are all raising their hands, and it looks like their mouths are closed. They are not shouting out answers. So that's something we'll have to remember once we make it back to our classroom. next year. Okay, united. Say it. United. Good. When things are united, they are brought or joined together. The children united to win the game. So we can see that illustrated here. Looks like they won the cup. So if you've ever heard the saying, there's no I in team, because you need to all come together as a team to get something done. As a country, you know that we are the United States of America. So the states, after they were all colonies, they decided to become the United States of America after some time, after being going through the Revolutionary War, and after winning their freedom from Great Britain. Eventually we came to be the United States, no longer the North and the South, or all of the countries and the territories to the west. We all became the United States of America. And finally, writers. Say it. Writers. And I know that we have really, really great writers in our class. Writers are people who write stories, books, and articles. The writers were busy finishing their stories. And if you notice, these are children, okay? A writer does not have to be somebody who has published a book or has published a poem. A writer is anybody who picks up their pencil and starts writing. So you all are writers, and you all are really, really great at it. So hopefully you're doing lots of that at home. I've seen you with your the writings that you've been sending me with your daily journal. So you're all doing an awesome job. And that concludes our vocabulary for the week. So don't forget to go in and do the Microsoft form of the vocabulary match. And don't forget to do the Microsoft form, I believe it's on Wednesday, for the words in context, to make sure we're getting all the practice. All right, have a wonderful, wonderful day. And again, enjoy the sunshine because it is gorgeous.